Good morning, everyone, and a special good morning to Jane Keene, who I just have been thinking about and wondering how she was doing. Welcome. And she looks like she's full of life. Thank you. Yay. Okay, wonderful. And now, before we begin, I invite you to greet one another while I greet those who are on our Zoom. And I am welcoming Joanne, and I think Mike is someplace, and Norma and Fred, and I know Bonnie is somewhere there because she wants to see Bruno, and Karen and Cerise and her little hamster dog, and Susan and Marianne and Jim and Annabeth. And good morning, Kelsey, and good morning, Karen and Rick and Fred, and good morning, Joan and Daryl and Levon. I bet she's over on the side there, and Norma West and Annette and Karen Anderson. Hi there. And Deb, welcome home. We hope your health is doing well here, that you're adjusting to the altitude. And Tony, welcome. And there, Bronwyn and Warren are home from Mexico. Welcome to you, and welcome to Suze and Dorothy and Jerry Carley. And let me see if I can see other people. And Lila and Ria, whose sister is doing better, Tamara, and Christy, and Judy, wow, and Sue, and Bobby Bollinger, and Connie, hi Connie, hi Charlotte, and Karen, and Dakota King, welcome, welcome, Edie, Patrick, and Lila Witt. And I think, and Bob and Marilyn Coulter are just heading into our gathering. Thank you all for coming. And Sherry's landing in on the landing pad of Zoom all the way from Texas. Welcome, welcome, Sherry. And we have lots of visitors. I'm going to turn this around so maybe you can see people. We have some visitors and we have a lot of excitement in this sanctuary. And now we are going to ring our peace bowl once again. Today, with this bell, we affirm our collective hope for peace, and let us send that collective hope to the many places in the world, to Russia, to the Ukraine, to the people who surround those areas, to the people who are there and wondering what is going to happen, and all those people in the European Union who are wondering if they will have fuel for their houses during this winter. And the many places that are not on the news, let us send them to our hope for peace. We also affirm with this bell that these lands that we love, these places where we hike, these places that are a refuge for us around this city, that these are the ancestral lands of the Yavapai people, the Wipukepas, the Tolkepayas, the Cuevkepayas, and the Yavapai. And this morning, we begin with a song on an age-old question. Tevye sings to his wife Golda of many years, "Do you love me?" Fiddler on the Roof is based on Tevye and his daughters, and other tales by Sholem Aleichem, a pen name which means peace be with you. Sholem Aleichem If you spoke Yiddish, you would know his name, but it is the pen name of the man who is called the Yiddish Mark Twain. And he was born in central Ukraine. His story caught our hearts, and let us listen to this question of the song, this question that sometimes surfaces in all of our hearts. Do you love me? Let's listen.
Love. Golden, do you love me?
Do I what?
Do you love me?
Do I love you?
Well,
With our daughters getting married and there's trouble in the town, you're upset, you're worn out, go inside, go lie down. Maybe it's indigestion.
No, Golden, I'm asking you a question. Do you love me?
You're a fool.
I know. But do you love me?
Do I love you?
Well.
For 25 years I've washed your clothes, cooked your meals, cleaned your house, given you children, milked your cow. After 25 years, why talk about love right now?
Golden, the first time I met you was on our wedding day. I was scared.
I was shy.
I was nervous.
So was I.
But my father and my mother said we'd learn to love each other. And now I'm asking, Golden, do you love me?
I'm your wife.
I know. But do you love me?
Do I love him?
Well?
For 25 years I've lived with him, fought with him, starved with him. 25 years my bed is his. If that's not love, what is?
And you love me.
I suppose I do.
And I suppose I love you too. It doesn't change a thing, but even so, after 25 years, it's nice to know.
That was really lovely, wasn't it? 51 for Patrick and me. Good morning, everyone. Great to see you all here and on Zoom, all you Zoomers back there. Welcome to Granite Peak Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Prescott, Arizona. I'm Leslie Grady, your worship associate. We all wish Reverend Patty a relaxing and inspirational month during her February sabbatical. Yay! The worship team has wonderful speakers lined up, so please join us in February. This is the mission statement of our congregation. We are a compassionate spiritual community that celebrates diversity, nurtures the personal and spiritual growth of all, shares our gifts, promotes justice for all, and serves the world in which we live. If this is your first visit, welcome. More information about our community can be found at our Visitors Cafe table or on our website, prescottuu.org, as well as chatting with some members. Again, welcome. Thank you to Mary Lou Prince, our choir director, and our wonderful choir, and all the other volunteers helping today. We are an active community, and there are quite a few programs and events to participate in, so please check the weekly peak. Our order of service, the website, and Reverend Patty's videos for announcements. During the month of February, there will still be a lunch gathering, but with President Elaine Hayes rather than Patty. We begin our service in the Unitarian Universalist tradition of lighting the chalice. This morning, we light this chalice for all those we love. The chalice reading today is Love is Action, Why You Can't Just Say the Words by Stephanie Kirby, and a poem titled Showing You Love Me by Ms. Moem. Love is a verb. It isn't something you can just say. It's something that you need to do. Therefore, love is an action. How are you supposed to show someone you love them? The best way you can show someone love is to find out directly from them what makes them feel loved. Here are some ways you can show love. Prioritize what they like to do. Look for ways to help them. And remember what you used to do to show love. Here's the poem Showing You My Love. We are brought up to believe that love is something you feel, but to experience true love, you need to be shown that it's real. You can hold love in your heart, though you can't hold it in your hand. And it takes somebody using their actions for you to truly understand. Love lies in caring for another, to make their smile your world. Love does not discriminate. It touches boys and girls. It can make a grown man weak. It can make a woman strong. Love can make you feel at home, and it can make you feel you belong. It's not just the massive gestures. Sometimes small things are enough. Just being there for someone can make them feel your love. It's not a scientific equation. It's not cultivated or grown. But for certain, love can be visible if only it is shown.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you. Good morning, everyone on Zoom and in this sanctuary. As sabers are rattling once again around the Ukraine, around its borders and in many places, I want to open with the words of Ari Hanavar, a journalist and musician from Iran who is remembering the first Gulf War. For Persians, he tells us, one of our most precious ways to summon joy is poetry. I remember one night in particular in my home city of Shiraz, Iran, during that war, while sirens blared and the electricity was shut off, warning of an imminent attack. My family and I, feeling especially brave, snuck up to our rooftop to watch the anti-aircraft missiles shoot into the air. To my 7-year-old eyes, the brilliant red patterns in the pitch black sky rivaled the most magnificent fireworks display. But underneath the awe was a simmering terror brewing in my belly of not knowing who was going to be next. Was it going to be me, my best friend, my sister in Tehran, my teacher? And then someone from another rooftop shouted a verse of Rumi's poetry into the clear night air. Even if, they yelled, from the sky poison befalls all, I'm still sweetness, wrapped in sweetness, wrapped in sweetness. This was a poetic challenge to the bombers, but it was also a gauntlet thrown down to any Persian in hearing range. The verse soon was rejoined from another rooftop. While others sing about love, I am the Sultan of love. even as a young child, I could feel the ecstasy of these verses in my heart, radiating to every cell of my being. In an instant, my world not only became sane, but infinite and glorious. And what balm could ever touch that? That is the love and courage that will guide us. Let us sing together, love will guide us. Let us hum together in here and sing, all of you on Zoom. Please rise in body or spirit and move as you would like.
Love will guide us, peace has dried us, hope inside us, will lead the way on the road from free to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can hear from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has dried us, hope inside us, will lead the way on the road from free to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Wind that was pulling the leaves off the tree and showering on the choir. Together, let us say our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this congregation, the quest for truth its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve others in community, thus will we covenant together. And now we will hear from Anna Fleury.
Hi, my name is Anna Fleury, and I'm the Social Justice Coordinator at Granite Peak. I started going to Granite Peak when I was only 6 years old with my family after we first moved to Prescott, and I'm so honored and thrilled to say that I've been the Social Justice Coordinator at Granite Peak since October 2021. Part of what my role entails includes running the 5-Minute Activist Program, which is a program where I send out weekly actions in our newsletter that people can take to make a difference. And we also meet once a month to build sustainable and loving activist communities within our congregation. I also support ongoing justice programs, especially around climate justice, like Green Sanctuary, Protect, and our Compost program. I also recently started the LGBTQIA+ Young Adults Meetup Group, which is a group to build resilient and loving queer community, and something that I wish that I had had when I was growing up in Prescott. I also help connect Granite Peak with other justice organizations in the community, and most importantly, I'm always here to support and connect people in our community who believe that a better world is possible and want to know how to help make that a reality. The Social Justice Coordinator role is something that's unique, and it's not something that you see in many faith communities. In fact, the role that I have is the only one like it in any Unitarian congregation in all of Arizona. I'm really proud to be part of a community that has decided to invest in social justice in such a big way. The stewardship campaign allows this role to continue to exist, and thus it enables us to build sustainable and ongoing projects and the kind of investment in communities that social justice really needs. It also allows our congregation to benefit from the services and support that UU Jazz offers, including workshops like the anti-racism workshop that Chris Crass ran last week. Therefore, I invite you to support the Caring and Sharing campaign to sustain this work for years to come and to continue Granite Peak's commitment to social justice. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful community, and I hope you have a really great day.
Thank you, Anna. And she is here in our sanctuary and can speak with you afterwards if you have any questions about social justice. And as I am preparing, as you know, for going on sabbatical, I really tried to keep Bruno at home, but he would not stay at home. So, Bruno, what do you have on your mind today? I come today because, just a moment, I am coming today because I watched the movie, because Bonnie Ford, she asked me to watch the movie, Encanto. Anybody watch that movie? You see that movie? Did you hear the song, Bruno, no, no, no? It is disgrace. It is disgrace in my eyes. So I come because I want to give you message. Bruno, yes, yes, yes. Bruno say yes because I am loved so much that I wear mask. And of course, I love you. Example, I come to this place, I give you message, and I even promise one of you others pending to show up at memorial service. And this week, I thinking about what make me feel loved. And when I can speak freely, I feel loved. And when I can speak my mind without her telling me what to do. And of course, I feel better if I can eat freely. But unfortunately, it involves ruining her electric system of her automobile. So she will not allow. And sometime I go other places for that, wink, wink. But now it is just about me. It is not just about me, it is about her too. Because during sabbatical, I need to show her my love. So during sabbatical, I tell her I will carry all her problems in my backpack. Already in there, I have skunk present that is given to me by Sue Nauman, very heavy little silver skunk. And I will put all her worries with skunk, and I'm not going to let her even take a peek at all of that. And I am telling you, that is my love. So will you say for me, Bruno, yes, yes, yes?
Bruno, yes, yes, yes.
Oh, my heart feels so much better than I'm feeling so bad since Encanto. Thank you so much. Okay. Now, after we have enjoyed Bruno, we will now enter into a different kind of time. I invite you again into the sound of the bell. With that sound, I invite you to breathe together and to find that place within, that place of silence, that place that we may find when we are standing looking out at Lynx Lake. And we feel that earth beneath us when we are walking those wonderful paths. We also carry with us laughter, along with our sorrows and along with our joy. We hold, especially today, the world, the Ukraine, and all of those other places that don't make the news. We hold our own country and its leaders. I invite those of you who are on Zoom to write the names of those people you would like to lift up today. And those of you who are out there, if you would like to say those names, I will repeat them from the microphone so that everyone can hear. And so are there people for you that are on your hearts and minds? I have especially today the Hagberg family, who have members of their family who are causing them concern. And I also have Patrick Grady, who had retinal surgery this week, and BJ, who had surgery a couple of weeks ago and is doing well. Are there others you would like to bring? We have Sandy, of course, Sandy Reardon, who is always on our hearts and minds. And we have Tamara, Ria's sister, who is recovering well and was miraculously found after her fall. And Yvonne Garrett writes, everyone who's suffering, and my sister is there as well, from the results of the massive storm in the East Coast. And Karen writes about her Aunt Kitty, who passed away yesterday at 105, who skydived at 103 and was a brilliant artist. So I feel joy and sorrow in all of that. And Christy McHugh, who's recovering from her knee surgery, and I saw her out walking the other day. And Jim and Mindy Rubin. Is there anyone? Oh, and Jean Gertler, of course, Jean Gertler, who passed away in this past week. Let us hold his wife, Pocahontas, yes. Rose and Ruth and Catherine, and Warren Miller, who had a health incident in Mexico City. Russ.
My brother and sister, Roy and Mary.
And Russ Erickson's brother and sister, Roy and Mary. Let me see, I think. Okay, so let us hold all of those names. Yes, Marianne. Sandra Zerner, a swimmer just diagnosed with COVID. And a childhood friend, Jeannie, is it right, Jeannie? Of Mary Lou's, who, Ginny, who just died of COVID this past week. And she was healthy and was boosted and had an aneurysm that was due to COVID. So let's continue to be cautious. Anyone else? Yes. Jim and Terry Lambricks. Wow. They have COVID, and he went to the hospital last night with low oxygen and a fever. And Annette Skellinger, who is doing better. Is that right, Annette? I'm sure that's what you told me on Friday. She's on this this call. She looks like she's doing well. Yes. Anyone else? I think that's all there. So let us have a minute of meditation together. Let us hold all of these people and the many who are on our hearts and minds who we have not voiced, sometimes being ourselves and this world. Please join me in a spirit of meditation and prayer. Spirit of life, we are here. We are here once again as the world seems to be at a crossroads. We have known many crossroads in our lives. We ask for peace. We ask for wisdom in the leadership of the countries involved. We ask for comfort, especially for Pocahontas Gertler, who just lost her husband of many years, Jean. We ask for healing for the many who are suffering from COVID and all of the other things that happen to us as we are human. May we all have wisdom. We give thanks for the beauty of this earth that gives us comfort, in the beauty of its sky and the trees, the earth that we feel around us. In your many names we pray. Amen. And now I invite you to, we sing this one, walking with you. Walking with you is my prayer.
As we prepare to take the offering this morning, let us embrace the feeling of connection and community that we have when we gather here. Let us remember that this congregation and its programs are supported by your generosity. We also give back to the greater community through our seeds of support. This month's seed of support will go to the Prescott Area Shelter Services. Please read about them in your order of service and the newsletter. If you are joining us remotely, you can give through our website or use the link provided in the chat on our Zoom. We acknowledge the generosity of spirit expressed through this offering. What is given in love is received in gratitude. Blessed be.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, it's only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking that never learns to dance. It's the dream afraid of waking that never takes the chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give, and the soul afraid of dying that never learns to live. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember in the winter, far beneath the bitter snows, lies the seed that with the sun's love in the spring becomes the rose.
We now enter another story. The tragedy of King Lear opens with a question like Tevia's, but not just, do you love me? He wants to know, how much do you love me? So much is riding on the ability of his daughters to express their love. He is going to divide up his kingdom according to how much they love him. And before this, because of their relationship, his plan has been to live with his daughter Cordelia. But all that changes. Let us enter the world of King Lear.
In ancient England, the powerful King Lear is growing old. He decides to divide England between his 3 daughters, announcing that whichever daughter loves him the most will get the best part of the kingdom. Goneril and Regan, Lear's eldest daughters, both give flowery speeches about how much they love and admire Lear. Next comes Cordelia, the youngest daughter, and Lear's favourite. But Cordelia does not follow her sister's example. She says simply that she loves her father as much as she ought, nor more nor less. Lear explodes. He is furious that his favourite daughter didn't shower him with praise like Goneril and Regan. He is so angry that he banishes Cordelia. The Earl of Kent tries to calm him down, but Lear does not listen and banishes Kent too. So Lear splits the kingdom in 2. He gives half to Goneril and her husband, Albany, and half to Regan and her husband, Cornwall. He also announces a new living arrangement. Now he will live with Goneril 1 month and with Regan the next. As soon as Goneril and Regan are alone, they notice how unstable and rash their father is. They decide to do something about it.
Poor King Lear. He is so desirous of beautiful words that he stops taking into account his experience with his daughter, and he rejects his youngest daughter Cordelia's love for the fake love of his other daughters, who simply want his wealth and his land. It seems so clear to us in the audience that he should believe Cordelia and not those other two. And in real life, that determination of love can be as hard as Shakespeare portrays. I have felt Cordelia's dilemma during this pandemic. The ways that we showed each other love before the pandemic, rushing to the hospital or home to visit, giving someone a long hug, became possibilities to bring someone an illness that carried the possibility of death. I imagine out there, many of you have had to miss weddings. We've had to miss weddings because often although they are opportunities at other times to show our love for our families, weddings became super spreaders for a while. And even the act of wearing a mask has been misunderstood. Barbara Jacobson made those lovely buttons, remember those, that expressed the reality that masks, my wearing a mask, was to help you from becoming infected, that they were symbols of love rather than rejection. And sometimes during the pandemic, I have felt paralyzed, as Cordelia does, if you could see the whole play when King Lear is asking her to describe her love. I have felt paralyzed when someone in our congregation was ill or when a loved one died, because I didn't want to bring a deadly infection with me. We knew so little in those early months. And I didn't want to contract one to take home to my family. Together and individually, we have had to find new ways to show our love. Some of you out there, I know, are not new to this complexity of love because you have children or siblings or parents with addictions or mental challenges that have caused you to struggle with how to express that love that you feel in a way that is best for them. It is hard to be loving when that love does not feel or look like love in a traditional sense. We can be in a situation like the parent on the airplane with securing the oxygen masks. We must take care of ourselves first. As I spoke about last week about a Sabbath, we must take care of ourselves first because our own health makes it possible to be there for others. And the answer of how we show our love to the people we love can shift during our lives. And finally, in the end of King Lear, he does see Cordelia's love, but often in our own lives, that moment of recognition does not come. As a denomination, Unitarian Universalists, we love to use that word love. Instead of a creed, that would give us a shared belief system as other Protestant religions, a belief system in God who can be seen as a symbol of love. We share principles that guide our actions. And our first principle is about showing love by affirming the inherent worth and dignity of every person. I think reading that principle convinced me that I was a Unitarian Universalist. And as in the first song we listened to, if we hear from the world, "Do you love me?" we want to answer like Golda, "I have done all of these things for you." Our love is something we are called to live out with action. We are called to live it out in the slogan that follows us everywhere in demonstrations, "Side with love." And those are big words to live up to. On the Side of Love site, we read, "Side with Love is a public advocacy campaign that seeks to harness love's power to stop oppression, that seeks to harness love's power." We are talking about a love powerful enough to need to be harnessed so that we can move it in the direction of oppression. And then yesterday came. Just as I was diving into this sermon, and I'm hoping to have a sermon today that you will remember. You will remember well, as I am just ready to enter a month of sabbatical. I was feeling that peace. I was considering the 3 books that I had read on love, and I was wondering, what would love look like for us as Unitarian Universalists in Prescott, Arizona? And then Mary Lou received a message from Heather about a homeless person who began sleeping right out there, outside the door of our sanctuary. And all I could think was, oh no! How am I going to possibly write a sermon on love? My feelings of love at that moment bottomed out in a heartbeat, and I felt irritated. I wonder if this person was deliberately sabotaging my sabbatical. Did they know I was going to go on sabbatical and they were going to present a problem that I would have to be thinking about the entire month of February? How was I going to return to my sermon on love? My concentration was gone. So I came to this building and the person was gone. There was just a pile of blankets and a pile of unmentionable things. A bag of something unmentionable. And I wrote a note to them about the winter warm-up place that the Salvation Army has. And after writing the note, lots of phone calls, consultation, a number of hours, it seemed like the problem was solved. Although when I came this morning, the person was still there. And if you want details about this, I'll be glad to talk with you about it sometime. But in short, what happened yesterday was I missed choir, I missed singing, which I love, and I kept trying to walk my talk because I was thinking about love and find a way to transform my feelings of irritation and fear, because I didn't know anything about this person until I spoke with someone who knew them, trying to transform those feelings into love. I tried to be present for each conversation I had. What I did receive was affirmation that ministry is shared. I'm grateful for Elaine's advice at that time. Russ, who's large, and that was helpful then. It's often helpful. And Dan Reardon, and a police officer named Gene, whom we consulted with. And he knew this person by name, didn't arrest them, but was able to take them to a different place. I imagine that happened outside this door. We will know when we open the door. And later, thanks to relationship building during the past year, I received a call after hours from Michelle, who's at the US Vets, who also recognized this person who was camping, understood the situation and the difficulty it presented to us, and gave us lots of clues. She'll also be investigating the extra cars that are appearing in our parking lot. My fear, mixed with irritation, turned into a wave of community, which felt a lot like love, love that I want to nourish and grow. Love was affirmed in that realization we had that we are a village, that we have partners around us. And then, on the way home, the tire warning light flashed on the dashboard of my car, and we discovered that we had a screw in one of our front tires, and it was losing air fast. The guy at the tire store was cordial and sweet. That helped my love to return, which I kept trying to make contact with through this day. And then we waited. It was around 3 p.m., sitting in the car shop, and we hadn't had lunch yet. When our car was ready, and the problem was a pretty simple fix, and they did it for free, we went over to Trader Joe's, which was just across the street, and got 3 kinds of chocolate. But we only ate 2 of the kinds. One is waiting for after this service. We ate quite a few pieces of dark chocolate with mint and a dark chocolate with almond butter, which I highly recommend. And the chocolate helped a lot, I must admit. And when we went home, we took a walk, during which I sent a lot of the stress of the day out into the forest. And I tried to breathe in love. Walks have been an essential part of my spiritual practice, of my connection with love. When I take the time, my walks can fill my being with peace that looks a lot like love, the love that I need for my life, especially on days like yesterday, when the circumstances of the day kept emptying me. Yesterday evening, more challenges appeared that I'm not going to talk about. And the message that I received about love yesterday is that access to our source of love is constantly challenged, and that we must keep searching for that source, because if we don't, our love can quickly turn into fake love, love for show, like Regan and Goneril. And I also think that we should feel a little compassion for Regan and Goneril. I wonder if any of you have been seen as the bad daughter or bad son. And in theater, one of the marvels of theater and other kinds of fiction as well, is that we are invited to take all of the roles, not just the good ones. But I think we should feel compassion for these daughters of King Lear. Being his daughter was no picnic for them. And let us be attentive to those times when the feeling of love we have bottoms out, when we lose our grounding in love. This past week, some of us were able to participate in a workshop with Chris Crass. How many of you here were there? some of you are here. Well, the reason why I brought him here is because I have seen his work through the years. And I know that he has been involved in that struggle with love for a long time. Without love, he wouldn't be able to continue his work of engaging people in the work of liberation. And I am certain that the love that sustains him, the love that you who attended the workshop experienced, is hard won. Engaging this with the forces of oppression can turn us in a heartbeat from love to fear to hatred, irritation. So we are standing there with our Side of Love t-shirts, growling at the opposition and looking like we're the loving ones and you are those stupid idiots with the hatred and fear. Love can easily slip out of our reach. I believe that in order to live out our faith, we do not need perfect love, which could so easily turn into fake love. What we do need is to be in that process of striving for it. The love we are seeking is like the beloved community that Martin Luther King Jr. saw when he visited that mountaintop. And if we keep striving towards it, there will be moments when that love will be there, so big that we must harness it and turn it towards the work of justice at hand. I feel the love of this community when I see that people are picking up bits of trash that sometimes are dropped in our garden and in our parking lot. I feel the love of this community when we keep the toilets nice for each other and we don't leave a toilet roll with one square. We affirm our love for each other in the way we reach out when someone is ill or hasn't been seen for a while. When I visit someone in our community who is having challenges, and I am the third visitor, I feel the love of this community. And when I see the cars of the choir members arriving in our parking lot, and when I see you showing up at marches and vigils and at our worship services, and I feel it when we sit with each other, listening to where we are in that moment and ignoring all of the church business that seems so important. I see it in those small ways and the ways that each of us go through our days, refusing to let fear win, turning that fear or irritation or annoyance into love or something close to love. All of that work is preparing us to side with love. Wear one of those t-shirts when we are called to stand at the courthouse square for justice and peace, or in front of the city council, or at the sheriff's office when someone is unfairly detained. To prepare for those public times, we must keep up our individual searches for that love that is so strong that it needs to be harnessed. We must keep up the small practices that remind us that love is our priority. We must allow the fear and grief that we feel around climate change to transform into love that will carry us to do that work that the earth needs in order to be saved. Today, after our service, we have an opportunity to join in a worthy project, Protect. And we have a new table in our sanctuary that is for social justice. That project, Protect, is asking our city to do a climate risk assessment. And when I spoke in front of the City Council this week on Tuesday, I felt during that time a shift from the time I had spoken in front of them 2 years ago. Our work, our voices are making a difference in this place. We must not get discouraged. It is my hope that you join me on this imperfect journey and this practice of love. Let us be able to say with Rumi, standing on our rooftops, no matter what is happening, and crying out, while others sing about love, I am the Sultan of love. Amen. And may it be so. And now I invite you to sing a song about our religion, words written by Theodore Parker, the minister, the Unitarian minister who in the 1800s talks of writing his sermons with a pistol by his side because he was harboring people who had come from enslavement in the South. Let us sing his words.
The hours of religion, which thy sunshine grows everywhere, its temple all space, its shrine the good heart, its creed all truth, its ritual works above.
Together, may we find the love that will ground us for justice. May we see the struggle for love as a worthy struggle in each day we live. And may we be blessed with moments that make it all worthwhile, when love connects us with each other and the greater world. May we know a love so strong and wild that we can harness it for justice. And may we have joy. May it be so. And let us dance. I invite you to rise in body or spirit and dance or sing to Stevie Wonder. I just called to say I love you.
No New Year's Day to celebrate, no chocolate covered candy hearts to give away, no first of spring, no song to sing. In fact, here's just another no April rain, no flowers bloom, no wedding Saturday within the month of June. But what it is something true. of these three words that I must say to you. I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care. I just called to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. No summer's high, no warm July, no harvest moon to light one tender August night, no autumn breeze, no falling leaves, not even time for birds to fly to southern sky, no Libra sun, no Halloween, no giving thanks to all the Christmas joy you bring. But what it is, so oh so new, to fill your heart like no three words could ever do. I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care. I do. I just called to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care. I do. I just called to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Of my heart. Of my heart.
Oh, Bruno is happy he could dance with Clara. Oh. Do we have anyone who is visiting today on Zoom or in this sanctuary who would like to introduce themselves? You could wave if you're on, if you're on Zoom. Like, these squares are so little. Anyway, is there anyone out in our sanctuary who would like to introduce themselves today? Okay, so before, yes? Wait, somebody, can you see somebody? No. Okay. They're shy. I was shy. Now I can't be shy, but I was shy. So I understand. We are going to do an imaginary act with, I want you to imagine that you have, that all of you have beans in your hand. I want you to have, you could have 3 or however many you like, put them in your hand. And this is an important ceremony. And actually, I was going to bring beans, but I was paralyzed again, one of those paralyzing, because I didn't really want to waste beans. So I think it's better that we have magic beans. But in Japan, there is an important ceremony right around this time where you throw the beans out your door and you say, Oni wa soto. Can everybody say Oni wa soto? Oni wa soto. That means devil, go out. Devil, go out. And devil can be whatever you mean. And you have that, whatever it is you want to have go out and never come back. You're going to imbue those beans with that, whatever it is. And then you say, Fuku wa uchi. Fuku wa uchi. That means good fortune come in. Oni wa soto. Oh, you're throwing them at me. Okay, well, let's all turn, I'm getting all these devils. Ooh. I could, anyway, I won't do a strange exorcism thing, but so let's, I realize it does look really strange. So, or maybe I should turn around, but I need to be, why don't you, everybody stand up and turn around facing that way and try to hit the door with your beans. Oni wa soto, and throw them, Oni wa soto. Oni wa soto. Okay, now let's invite fortune in. Fuku wa uchi. Fuku wa uchi. We could do that one more time. Fuku wa uchi. Okay, that felt better. Thank you. Now you can turn around and we will extinguish our chalice. And then we can, here in the sanctuary, you can find out more about Protect if you like, or we can do some more dancing. You can meet Bruno in person if you would like to, and find out he's taking reservations for different events. He will show up at weddings and no. So let us extinguish our chalice together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now those of you on Zoom will be going into breakout rooms, and we will have our own breakout rooms in the sanctuary. Thank you all for coming, and I will see you once more in March. And repeat after me, Bruno, yes, yes, yes. Yes.